Alright, people, what up? This your boy Vagabond here to give you my thoughts on Arrow Season 2, Episode 1, titled City of Heroes. Now, I thought this was a great episode. I really liked the writing in this episode. I like the layout of the all the characters and the way they have, progressed in life since the Glades, since the bombing of the Glades. And the best thing I liked about this episode is the progression and the development of Oliver, him being a businessman now, and his development and his progression as the Hood or the Vigilante or Arrow, whatever you want to call him. He took a big step in that department. And overall, I just thought the show was very well done. I mean, it had good action in it. And, it had a surprise at the end that I thought that was, really cool as hell. Now, just to give you a brief summary, Oliver, he went back to the island that he used to be on 5 years ago to get a peace of mind, to get away from all the drama that happened in Starling City because, he just got real emotional. He failed his city, which is so ironic because he's used to telling everybody that you failed the city when he failed the city afterwards. And Felicia and Diggle, they go looking for him, and they trying to convince him to come back. His city needs him, his family needs him, and his company is about to go, bankrupt or I guess, get taken over by another person. So he does go back. And when he goes back, he comes back to a shitstorm. I mean, impersonators up the ass. I mean, you got 4 people who live in the Glades, who all had family, I guess you could say, in the Glades, and they're looking to get revenges on the people, particularly like I guess you could say the rich people, but get revenge on the people that have been responsible for the Glades, and make a name for themselves. They call themselves the Hoods. They all been inspired by Oliver's, the Hood or the Vigilante, and they all been inspired by him to, do dirt, man. But see, they were doing it beyond a level. Like, they simply just did it because they felt like, they did have family members dead in it from what happened in the Glades. So, later on in the episode, these masked guys and 4 masked guys with the hoods on, they going around, killed the fucking mayor of the city. I mean, that was a big shock to me. I was like, damn, you already done killed somebody? Like, they done killed the mayor, shot him up. And then, later on, they see that that's not enough. That's not enough to get them recognition on TV. So they go after Oliver, because they see Oliver got all this exposure. Just him coming back alone, he gets exposure. So they go after Oliver and his family. And then, Oliver's sister ends up getting kidnapped by them. And he has to put on that green suit again. But this time he takes a different approach. Now, he created a rule for himself now. Because he just doesn't want to be that guy that he was in season 1. He doesn't want to kill no more. He doesn't want to be another guy that just cross names off the list. He wants to protect his city, and he wants to be a hero. So he has the no-kill rule now. He will not kill again. And he demonstrated it in this episode. When he went to this church to go save his sister. He whipped up 3 of the other guys. He just whipped them up martial arts style. And I thought that was great. Then the last guy had a gun on his sister. And Oliver had an arrow pointing at the guy. And Oliver shoots him in I think in the shoulder. And the guy goes flying off he's flying off the balcony. And, just a long fall. So but Arrow, he's holding on to like the ridge. Arrow grabs him. And then the guy, he has a gun pointing at Arrow's head. And then Arrow's telling him, if you shoot me, you die too. And then the guy's like, he's like, you're going to kill me anyway. He's like, you're the vigilante in this. And the Arrow's like, no, I'm not going to kill you. And he said some other stuff. But then eventually Arrow helps him back up, and then there's a cutscene after that where Arrow ties all four guys up to like this cage, the a door cage or whatever, and he lets whatchamacallit, Lance hounds it. He lets Lance lock him up. And Lance is telling him like, man, I'm surprised you didn't kill him. And then Arrow says, yeah, I'm not killing no more. Them days are over or whatnot. And I thought that was very huge for the development of Oliver to not kill anymore. He's taking his character. That's like a huge step, but at the same time, it's just that it's a small step because he still got ways to go before he actually becomes that hero that the city recognizes, that the kids recognize, and so on. So that's going to be a huge step that's a huge step in his development as becoming Green Arrow or Arrow, whatever they're going to call him. Hope they call him Green Arrow. And they kind of hinted at it too at the end of the show where he's talking to Felicity. He's like, I need a new name. And then, he's like, he grabs an arrow. It's a green arrow. And he looks at the tip of it. And then he's like, and then, they cut it off right there. Now, the end of the show, the end of it, not just the end of the show, but it's like the last 2 minutes, yo. You got Roy walking in the dark alley, talking to Thea on her phone. She's asking him when you gonna come home or whatever. And then of course he sees a lady getting jumped by 3 guys. And then he tells her, I'll call you back later. I gotta go get a burger or something. So he goes over there to fight these guys, and then they get a couple of licks in on him. And then out of nowhere, Black Canary comes out of nowhere, yo. That fucking wand or that stick, man, breaks in. The stick comes in half, and like now she look like she got like 2 sticks on her, and she just starts whooping ass. Pop, 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 pop. Whooped up the 3 guys' asses, man. It probably took her no more than 20, maybe 25 seconds, man. Whooped their ass. She got the black suit on. She got a mask on and shit. Even though I was like, she never wear the fucking mask, I don't think, in the comics or nothing. But whatever. It was cold as fuck. And then just before she leaves, Roy asks, he's like, where the hell did you come from? I'm thinking like, yeah, where the fuck did you come from, man? And then she looks at him for a minute. Then she like dives off or jumps off to somewhere else. And then you hear like these little birdie calls, like, bing, like, little canary calls. So that was like an automatic sign. Like if you didn't understand that little bird call, then that was another comic book character, Black Canary. So look up if you don't know, but that was Black Canary, and I thought that shit was beastly, man. That was a beastly scene, and that was just a great way to end the show off, man. Like, I know the comic book nerds or whatever, they were hype as hell. Like, I was hype. I was like, yo. I was like, yo, damn. But overall, man, this was a good episode. Like I said, the writing was great. I really liked the way they talked about the characters and their progression in life. Like, for instance, Thea, she's now gonna be running the club, the Verdant, I think it's called. Laura, she's now moved up to a district attorney. She got a district attorney job, so she's gonna be huge in the story because actually she mentions in the story that her mission is to take down the Green Arrow. So she's a district attorney, and that's gonna be so just keep that in mind. She's gonna be a huge part of this series. I mean, this season. Then you got a new alderman. I guess a new alderman. This guy named Blood. Now I know who they talking about, but keep that guy in mind. And then you got another who seems to be like a big bad one. That's gonna be, I'll say, a thorn in Oliver's side. Elizabeth Rothschild or Rothschild, whatever her name is. But she's gonna be a huge thorn, I think, in Oliver's side. And then of course Oliver, his progression, he's now becoming this businessman, the businessman that we know, inside of the comic books. Besides being that guy that dresses up in his in his Green Arrow suit, he's a businessman too, and he's gonna be heavily involved in his business. The Queen's consolation. But yeah. You got Lance, Detective Lance, and now downgraded to a street level cop. Hey, I don't know what to say about that. And then Roy, he's still beating up street thugs, still trying to find his way. And hopefully he can find his way to Arrow, and maybe Arrow can like how what it's supposed to do. Bring him along on the ropes and shit, like teach him the way. But overall, man, I thought this was a great episode. Leave your comments. If you listen to all this, thank you. Subscribe, thumbs up, and I'll holler.